We love spending this time with you. Thank you for listening. If you would like to take your listening experience to the next level, did you know there's a way to do that, Jabo?
I do.
Yep, you know how you do it. You go to thetjshow.com, you sign up for the TJ Show newsletter, and you get cool things dropped right into your inbox, like the TJ Show's 10 shares. We pick 10 different things, everyone on the team does it, that we think you're going to love. It's not just about our show. This is about like stuff, music we're listening to, whatever it may be.
Like life stuff.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a whole lot more in there. Sign up at thetjshow.com. This is the TJ Show. Jabo.
Yes, TJ.
I think you're good with this kind of stuff. When people's feelings get hurt.
Okay, what happened? Who hurt your feelings?
Well, it's not me, it's Kenny.
Oh, what happened, Kenny?
Well, it seems like he's offended. And what I mean by that is offended by a friend.
I've been there.
A friend of ours has apparently offended Kenny.
Yeah, I mean, am I offended? I'm not sure, because I really just have questions. I want to know why our friend sent me this video on Instagram.
Oh, so we know this friend. Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
yeah. No, it's Scotty. Scotty.
Oh, yeah. He's a great guy.
Scotty is
He's awesome.
He is a workout guy, twice a day, every day. He's a lot to keep up with. I don't know if anyone can keep up with him, but he sent you a video.
Yeah, he sent me a video in my DMs. It's an interview with this guy who seems to know what he's talking about, but he's talking about this study on mating success.
Well, by the way, isn't that everyone on the internet? Everyone seems to know what they're talking about.
As long as they have a microphone and headphones on.
Yeah, I know. As long as you've got that, then everyone's listening. But what is it?
The guy goes on to say that men who are muscular generally have better mating success.
So Scotty, who is very muscular, and Kenny, who would you say isn't? Is that a fair assessment?
Maybe not muscular. I don't think I'm a bad athlete. I'm a little out of shape, but
Right.
I think I can hold my own.
So,
But you're not muscular.
Right.
Which is the question.
No, and
Okay.
I never strove to be muscular.
and Scotty is
Right.
very muscular, and so you think he's heavily hinting that there's something off?
I suppose. I mean, doesn't he know I have a girlfriend that I live with? Like, I don't know. Like, men who are more bodily masculine also tend to have more mating success. And then he cited this thing called the frat boy study, where they showed a bunch of men in a fraternity pictures of other men and asked them to rate the photos based on who they thought would be the best fighters. Then they showed women those same photos and asked them who they thought was hottest. And the men who chose the best fighters also happened to be the men that women chose were the hottest.
That's so out of character for Scotty. Like, did he say he just sent the video? He didn't
have a comment.
No comment,
on it or
nothing.
anything. Just sent it to me.
That's so odd. Maybe he sent it to the wrong person.
Kenny, have you talked to Scotty about this yet?
No.
Why?
Well,
So you didn't respond when he sent you the message?
no, I didn't respond. I texted TJ right away. I said, "What do you think this means?"
So why get into a little gossip hornet's nest and start bringing other people into it? Why not just talk to him directly?
Well, I don't know. I do an impression of Scotty. I've done it on the show a couple of times. Maybe he's trying to get me back for the impression of him that I do on the show.
This is all a story that Kenny's making up in his head.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, people destroy careers over this kind of thinking. People destroy friendships over this kind of thinking, assuming we know what's going on in someone else's head. Did he give you any explanation? He just sent you the video, right?
He just sent me the video.
So I think based on your relationship, it warrants a conversation with him and just say, hey, even if it's just as simple as, why'd you send this over to me?
Yeah.
And see what he says.
With the laugh emoji.
Right. Isn't he at least worth that, Jabo?
He's at least worth that, yes.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm fit to do this on my own.
Here's the thing, though. He knows that you saw it because when you send somebody a DM, it tells you when they've seen the video or the text or whatever. So you might as well just go ahead and confront the issue.
Why don't we just do it here on the radio? Would you be open to that?
Ooh,
Yeah, I'd rather have you guys at my
You need
side.
support? Like, well, what are we, your baby bottle?
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, fine. Here's what I'll do. I'll reach out to Scotty and we'll ask him what he meant by it. And we'll find out if you're even close to on the mark, which I'm going to assume you're probably not, knowing Scotty pretty well.
Yeah, he's
so
probably just trying to encourage you to work out.
let's see if tomorrow at this time we can get an answer from the source and find out what he was thinking, because we don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah.
Jabo, I think something amazing happened to me yesterday.
Oh, what was it?
Or at least I thought something amazing happened to me yesterday. I saw someone that we see quite often in the building that we work in,
All right.
and she called me honey out of nowhere.
Oh, was she like, what's up, hon?
No, she was like, hey, honey. And
Oh,
I was like,
okay.
whoa.
The full word.
I was like, huh? What does that mean? Translate it.
She's just saying hi. Nothing crazy. She's
Okay.
just being nice. Yeah.
Kenny, I'm hot.
That's not what I said.
Yeah, bro. Good for you, man.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think
it's
that's
a term of endearment.
You're puffing out your chest.
I thought it was not. I've never had anyone do that. I was like, for a second, I was like, whoa, I got a little extra kick in my step. So
Okay.
who did I report this to first? My wife, Jess. I wanted to get her take on it. Hey, Jess. This is immediately after it happened. I'm in the lobby. I was so excited. There's a lady who works at the front desk, and she called me honey. She said, hey, honey, how you doing? I was wondering, like, is that just her way of talking, or am I extra special? I thought it was pretty cool. Just wanted to see how that made you feel. Are you proud of me? I mean, my wedding ring is broken, so I'm not wearing a wedding ring. And I thought, well, maybe she innocently thought that...
You think she was running games? She's trying to hit on you?
I mean, in all fairness to her, she doesn't know that I'm married because my ring is broken.
What would make you assume that she's interested?
I don't know. I just thought that word
All
was
right,
like
slow
maybe,
down, good looking.
Maybe it was a hint.
Slow down.
It's never happened to me before, but there's always a first time, J-Bo. Love you, honey. Told my wife that I love her, and then my wife very quickly responded.
So I guess this is a good time to confess to you that I called our mutual friend Angelo honey the other day, and it was a complete accident.
It was an excellent.
It was excellent. It was excellent.
Wait a minute. Did she just say excellent?
And it was a complete accident.
It was a complete excellent.
Yeah.
Accident.
Hey, what's going on here?
And I apologized right away. He was like, no problem. But all that to say, sometimes you just say honey, it just comes out because we're busy or we have children and you call a lot of people honey. Not to say that you're not special. I don't think they're mutually exclusive. I think you can be special and someone call you honey and it not mean anything other than you happen to be in front of them when the word came out. Also, if you think someone's really hot, you don't usually call them honey.
Oh, well, I think I call Jess honey.
Well, she's your wife.
But I think you're hot.
Oh, guys, did you hear that? There, official.
all that matters.
She's never said that on the record, which is very exciting for me. So if nothing else, we got that recorded. Yay for me.
But no, I don't feel annoyed or jealous. I think everything's good, and I'm glad you're getting encouraged. Love you, bye.
And if you heard, there was something winding up in the background there. The kids were asking for something. Sorry I couldn't be there to help with that.
She had a great exit. She's like, all right, I gotta go.
So it seems overwhelming. Maybe Kenny's on my side here, but it seems overwhelmingly this was just either a slip or just the way she talks, even though she's never talked that way before.
Yeah, that's the way she talks.
So it's not a test to see if I'm interested. Okay, fine.
No.
I did witness the man at the deli counter calling a young woman honey yesterday when I was at the grocery store.
Was it like a, hey, honey?
Here you go, hon.
Oh, hun. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hun is not honey, though.
It's a short for honey.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Hun. Yeah, hun is cute.
It's cute, yeah.
Right, hun?
Yeah, hun.
You got it, babe.
Yeah, hey, babe. Yeah, didn't Curb Your Enthusiasm do something about that?
Yeah. Richard Lewis, rest his soul, tried to start using babe in conversation. He called Larry David babe, and Larry was like, don't babe me. Don't babe me. Don't you babe me.
J-Bo, I think you'll appreciate this.
What is it, TJ?
So, my oldest daughter, Charlie, she was in this little theater production.
All right.
And I kind of wish I was a part of theater. Like I wish I was a part of the theater department or whatever that is at school. I think you were, right?
Part of drama?
Yeah, is that what they
Drama
call
club?
it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would always see those kids, and I always wanted nothing to do with it, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because I love the idea of performance and stage and sound and everything. But anyway, fast forward, now I'm an adult, too late, can't join the theater
You
camp
can do
anymore.
community theater.
Yeah, who's got time for that?
Oh, well, that's on you then.
But my daughter is in this show, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know she was capable of doing some of the stuff that she was doing. Like, she was shouting these lines, and it was really cool to see. And I guess any parent who has been in that situation can relate to that. Seeing your kid in a different way, and they're like so grown up. And you're just like, wow, I can't believe that's my kid. And
Right.
there was this other kid in the show, and she was singing really well. I was like, wow, she's really good. And I come to find out that her parents had never heard her sing. She was
Aw.
10 years old. They didn't know that she could sing that well. And the teacher, who happened to be my wife,
Okay.
she got this girl to sing and really open up.
That's
And
awesome.
as I'm watching this, I'm like, wow, first of all, theater's got to be great for everyone, right? Like, even if you decide you don't want to go into stage and performance as a full-time gig, it's got to help you in the real world, in school, to be able to speak in front of crowds.
Right.
And so there's that. I think that's an amazing thing that I just wish I had known when I was a kid. But then also, how many kids have these incredible talents and they don't even know, or they don't even know where to put it?
Right.
And, I think about...
Or they think it's weird, or they're weird because they have these talents.
Or because it's so new to them, or because they've never been exposed to it. Right. And wow, how do we change that? I think of camera guy Josh, who was a school teacher. Did you ever have kids where you saw someone in a class, you knew they had a talent, and you called it out on them?
Actually, yeah. I had this one student who just loved being in front of people and expressing himself through creative words. So I figured the school had a play coming up, and I told him you should go be in this play. He was hesitant. He didn't want to do it because it was new. And after talking with his mom made him do it. And it turns out he loved it. Yeah. And a few years later, maybe 5 years later, he invited my wife and I to come see him perform at a play in a middle school.
Look at that.
So just last year we went and we saw him perform. He got one of the lead roles.
That is awesome. That is so cool.
And that's somebody that's you calling him out and saying, "Hey, I see something in you." And I think all of us, and myself included, can be a little bit more aware of that, especially with our own kids. But kids in our community saying, "Hey, have you ever thought about this?" or "Have you ever thought about that?"
Or even people in your group. Sometimes adults, full-grown adults, things haven't been called out in them, but maybe somebody else comes along and says, "Hey, I see this in you," and they encourage them to play a role in a play, or join community theater, or maybe apply themselves when it comes to other things, other forms of art. So I think it's great to call out things in each other as well.
Kenny, what about you? You're very theatrical.
Yeah, I know. And I always played sports in school, but I'm not a professional ball player. I perform for a living now. I kind of wish that maybe I would have got involved in theater or drama club when I was a kid.
And you know how to sing. You were on the piano with my wife Jess at our dinner party, and you actually sounded really good.
Yeah, it was weird. I was in an all-town chorus when I was in the 5th grade, and I kind of wish I would have pursued that a little bit further.
Food for thought to throw out there. Maybe there's someone in our friend group or in our school who's got some incredible talent. They may not realize it. Tell them. Let them know.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll send them off into a whole different stratosphere. This is The TJ Show.
I'm Erica, 1/3 of the podcast Books and Betches, a comedy book podcast where we swear, spoil, and we talk about...
Whoa, you cannot say that in this.
What do you mean? That's our slogan. It's our gimmick.
It is, but just say we're a very funny adult book podcast. How about we just give some examples of things we talk about?
Well, there's a lot of chaos. I'm Kristen, and with me I have... No.
We talk about books, but we're not your AP Lit class.
I definitely hit on the major points.
You absolutely did not.
She did.
You talked
just
about...
not in the order you thought she would.
You talked so slowly about one thing.
A lot of sidebar conversations.
Are you denying the existence of chupacabras?
You know, Erica, yes, I am. And we don't always get the facts right. Epilogues don't belong in books. Call it chapter 1.
That's a prologue.
The second I see...
That's a prologue.
Oh.
I'm talking about prologue.
You can listen to new episodes of the Books and Betches podcast every Tuesday morning, anywhere you get your podcasts.
Bye-bye.
Bedside Matters is the podcast for all the latest medical news and answers to your questions. Hosted by respected physician Dr. David Kipper, comedian Anna Vicino, and writer-producer Peter Tilden. Plus, we have special guests like Danny DeVito.
I was marveling. It was such a life-saving moment. You like Houdini.
Steve Martin and Martin Short.
We were working, and Marty had this Christmas opportunity to fly home and see his grandkids and his children, and he gets off the plane and has COVID.
It was a Home Alone sequel except for a 7-year-old with COVID.
Charlie Day.
David, thanks for keeping me alive, and thanks for keeping Danny alive so we could keep the show on the air for as long as possible.
And many more. New episodes of Bedside Matters drop every Monday, wherever you get your podcasts.
This is The TJ Show. You hear about it all the time. How much screen time? How much is good? How much is bad? How much is necessary? How do we use screens less? Parents talking about their kids. Oh, we got to get them off the screens. Some of them realize it's the pause button, and so they give kids a screen. And I've been there. The screen sometimes can rescue a very tense household.
I can imagine.
Is it good? Is it bad? It's in the public debate. and Kenny decided to go out on the streets, tap some random college students on the shoulder, and ask them, how much time are you actually spending on your screen every day? And it's easier than ever to figure this out because our phone tracks it and reports this data to us.
What's your average daily screen time like?
A lot.
Mine's about maybe like 10 hours.
I would say probably like 10 hours, an embarrassing amount of time, but
10 hours, Jabo. 10 hours.
That's a lot.
How much sleep do you get a night?
6 to 8 hours.
Well, that's pretty good.
I mean, I wish I got that.
Yeah, seriously. Is that what I need to do? Get on the screen for 10 hours? Maybe that's what I'm missing.
Okay, so that's like 16 to 18 hours. I'm thinking we have another 6 to 8 hours left in the day.
Yeah, usually I'm working or like in class, so I'm not really doing anything else, but I'm always on my phone besides that, so.
Do you think that's too much? Are you trying to cut back or anything like that?
I think it's perfect. I love my phone, so I'm always going to be on my phone.
So now it's just being admitted. Like, yeah, no, it's great. I like 10 hours of screen time.
And like for being realistic, like the entire world's online.
Yeah.
Like as much as like people like don't want it to be, it is. So like to stay connected, you kind of have to be online.
Yeah.
Like not saying that's a good thing, but I feel like it's realistic.
Yeah.
Well, I feel a lot better about my screen time.
I
right
mean,
now.
life is happening online, yes. At least you're viewing people's life, but the world and life is happening around you too.
Is it? Still?
Yes,
Yeah.
it
Okay.
is.
Good. No, I need a reminder of that.
It's still happening.
This is why I like being friends with you. You remind me.
You got to be real, you know.
Yeah, I don't really think it like matters.
Yeah.
Well, then, yeah. I guess if it doesn't matter, then why not? I mean, you use what? 12 hours of the day on a screen? How many days? How many hours?
Well, I don't know. My phone this week, I've been on an average of an hour and 29 minutes a day. But
Whoa.
last week I was 2 hours and 45 minutes on my phone.
Well, with either of those stats compared to those stats, I mean,
know.
are you even using your phone?
No.
It's unbelievable.
What's your average daily screen time?
Daily? I would say probably 4 hours.
4 hours?
Yeah.
Probably like 6 or 7.
I saw mine was like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Good on you.
Yeah, I'm not trying to brag or anything like that. But
by the way, that used to be a number that people would clobber you for. Now they're like, wow, that's really good, Ken.
I was going in there embarrassed. And
she's like, good on you.
Okay. I'm
Felt a
feeling
little
good, yeah.
lighter in your step, Mr. Productivity.
I know. I was hoping for advice to, cut back my screen time, but I don't think you guys are going to be able to help me.
No.
Unfortunately, no.
We're not going to be any help.
I'm unfortunately addicted to my phone.
What are you on there doing most of the time?
Just like scrolling TikTok or like texting people. I'll just be like, it'll be like 3 hours go by and I'm like, oh, I've been on my phone for 3 hours and done nothing.
Yeah, we could all relate to that feeling
I've done that.
To different degrees, obviously. But man, think about that. 4 hours a day. What if you took one of those hours and you had 5 hours a week to either invest in a book or learn about some skill that you're really passionate about? What would that lead to? Even just taking 25% of that screen time off the table. Some of those TikTok videos, I don't know, could change our lives. You know, one of my favorite things about you, Jabo?
What is it, TJ?
Is that you're always pursuing new friendships. You're always finding and taking inventory of all the people around you, and you ask this question, can I be friends with that person?
I like people, and I like to know what their story is. I want to know.
We need more of that on our planet. So you've been going to physical therapy, and you're getting better and better.
Yeah.
And you met this woman who's a senior citizen. Her name is Shavella.
Yeah, Shavella is great. She's a gem.
What drew you to her, and how and why did you start up a conversation with her?
Well, we were both there healing and working, and she just started talking about her life and where she's traveling to and what she's doing now, and I was just intrigued by her.
So you asked if you could interview her and share her with all of us.
That's
And
right.
Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. What's some advice you would give 30-year-old you?
The advice I would give myself was be fearless. For me to take myself on a limb, because that's where the fruit is.
Ooh, I never heard it put like that before. Yeah, you could stay in the safe zone, but all the fruit is out on the limb. Love that.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes. The key is to get up and don't beat yourself up because you fail.
Can you see why it's so important to strike up conversations with those who have walked before us?
Very important.
I love that you do this, Jabo.
Great insight. You have a lot of wisdom. You've seen a lot of things in life. You are respectfully 70 years young.
69.
Oh, I'm sorry. 69 years young. You had mentioned that you wanted to be a veterinarian. Is that still a dream of yours?
Yes, it really is. I see animals and I want to grab them and hug them, and anybody who have a dog, I want to pet them. I would love to dog sit. I think that would be cool. I think that would help me get that out.
Yeah, you should do that. Have you reached out to some neighbors or family members and started dog sitting?
No, my neighbors, everybody kind of stays off to themselves. Now, when I was coming up as a youngster, it was a village. Everyone knew each other. Everyone knocked on the door. Everyone checked in on each other, where I could have went to one of them and said, hey, you need a dog sitter. But everything is so fragmented now.
No one's talking to one another.
I know. I think I would have loved that. I would have thrived in that environment.
Yeah.
Everybody's kind of doing their thing, their own thing. And so my neighbors, I don't have that kind of relationship that I would go and knock on their doors. And they don't have the kind of relationship with me.
Well, that's where J-Bo comes in. Hey, neighbor.
Yeah,
I'm here for you. That's right. Yeah, and I love also the idea of just, you've got something on your heart that you've always wanted to do and finding a way to do it, even if it's not being a professional vet,
right?
But taking care of a dog and like filling that desire you have. Yep. It's so cool.
Do you think that's weird that this 30-something-year-old person's trying to befriend you?
You know what? It's funny you would say that. A lot of my friends are younger than I am.
Okay.
Yeah, so no, not a matter of fact, it's the norm that you befriended me, because most of my friends are younger than me. Yeah.
Well, I love that. I think that if me as a younger person befriends people who are well seasoned in life, then we can avoid a lot of mistakes based on y'all's experience.
Well, see, you teach me and I teach you.
How do I benefit you as a 30-something-year-old?
Technology. Teach me technology. I need to learn technology. Yes.
That's a great question, J-Bo, because it is something that goes two ways.
Yes. I appreciate you sitting down, making time to talk to me.
I appreciate you thinking that I'm worthy enough to sit down and talk to you. I thank you.
You were a gem. You were great. I'm so thankful for you.
Hey, can we hear it for Shavella?
Yeah, Shavella's awesome. She's great.
Thank you for interviewing her. I love that. I feel so grateful that you've shared her with us.
You're welcome. Now she's your friend too.
Ever notice that how you feel affects your food choices, and that what you eat affects how you feel throughout the day? Well, researchers noticed it too, and now there's cutting-edge science about how food affects our emotional well-being. I'm food and science journalist Mary Beth Albright, and in my weekly podcast, Eat, You'll Feel Better, I look at practical, realistic ways to put the science of eating for emotional well-being into action. And, this is important, without lapsing into negative diet culture messages that can really ruin anyone's emotional well-being. We talk about things like how the food in your gut sends messages directly to your brain. And we also celebrate something that I personally find often missing from food health news, and that's leaning into pleasure. Because food is delicious, and it's not just about what we eat. Emotional well-being is also about how we eat. So join me every week on Eat, You'll Feel Better, where we use science to improve mood through food.
Hi, everybody. This is Adriana Trajani. I'm the host of You Are What You Read, a podcast about the books that built our souls. I have the privilege of interviewing luminaries of our times about the books that shaped them from childhood until now. Don't miss it. We get everybody from Sarah Jessica Parker to Kristen Hanna to Jhumpa Lahiri, Susie Essman, Rainn Wilson, Amor Tolls. You name it, they come, they talk, they share. You can join us on Instagram for more behind-the-scenes content and giveaways at You Are What You Read podcast and at Adriana Trajani. New episodes of You Are What You Read drop every Tuesday on Apple, Spotify, or any major streaming platform wherever you listen to your podcasts.
This is the TJ Show, our news. It sounds a little bit different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Hey, Kenny, what's happening on this wild planet today?
I saw this article on Inverse. Do you think people are experiencing superhero fatigue?
Who could have enough superheroes, I guess, is the first question I asked. J-Bo, you?
I wouldn't say now. I would say maybe a few years ago when all those DC and Marvel movies were coming out, yeah.
So you've been fatigued for quite a while.
I've been fatigued about a lot of things for quite a while. Yeah.
Yeah, why do you ask?
Yeah, well, this article's asking that and whether or not Marvel, their impact is slipping. So they asked Joe and Anthony Russo, aka the Russo brothers. They directed 4 of the most influential films in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including the most recent Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. And they said they don't believe in superhero fatigue, but they did say that Hollywood seems to be in, quote, a rut of repetitive storytelling and potential franchise abuse.
I see. Okay, I thought you meant, like, am I tired of superheroes? Always looking for more superheroes, but if you're talking about the movies, been there, done that, over and over and over again. And I think the reason why this happens is because people so badly want a formula to work. They so rarely want to take a risk on something new.
yeah.
And it's like, what can we do that has the best chance of succeeding? Well, Batman worked. Let's make 30 Batmans.
Yeah. I love these superhero movies. I'll take them any which way I can get them, but I can admit that since those Avengers movies that I just referenced, they kind of have been hit and miss, or hit or miss.
I have noticed, though, that movies now that don't have a lot of action in them or a lot of superheroes fighting crimes and saving the world, those movies aren't doing as well now as they used to prior to the superhero era.
Yeah, maybe it's people don't have the patience in this TikTok world and in this action-packed
possible,
movie
yeah.
world where they're just like, what, a story that's slow? No, give me people fighting and going wild.
Well, the Russo brothers continued by saying they think audiences are craving new ideas and new stories. And that's where their focus is going post-Marvel, asking what are those new stories? They are, although probably not going to do any more Marvel movies, they are slated to work with Disney again on a live-action remake of Hercules.
Yeah, if I were them, I'd make a movie about J-Bo.
Nah.
Good idea.
I'd say, she's got 130-something pairs of shoes, can never step in a puddle. If she does, her day is ruined.
Forever.
Puddle jumper.
Yeah. Kenny, what else do you have?
Well, grocery store prices have shot up quite a bit over the past 3 years, according to a recent study, 21% to be precise. And the Wall Street Journal did this interesting story about how people have seemed to turn to grocery store hopping as a way to combat these rising grocery store prices. So instead of going to their most convenient regular grocery store, they're shopping around for the best deals and even going to different neighborhoods.
Oh, I do the same thing. I love it. It's great. You know, one store has apples. My favorite one's the Honeycrisp for 97 cents a pound. Great. That's where I'm going for apples.
I wonder if you end up spending more money, though, driving around in gas.
Well, I try to do it on the way home.
Smart move.
There's this place that sells produce. Actually, you told me about this place.
Yeah.
And they have tomatillos and jalapenos in this massive bag, and they're like $3 for the big bag. I've been making hot sauce for weeks now.
Your wife just hates hot sauce, so she's probably annoyed now with you and me because I told you where to go to get that stuff.
I love it, J-Bo. Thank you for that. You
You're
changed my
very
life
welcome.
once again. You know, I try to get my wife, Jess, who doesn't eat anything spicy, just to take a little dab. Come on, you love your chip.
Add some spice to your life.
Take the chip and just dip it in. And she does, and she's like, it's a little too spicy. I'm getting there. One
You gotta
chip
work
at a
her
time.
up.
Absolutely. Kenny, I'm with you. That's a great plan.
Yeah, the Journal is reporting that the average American bought food at over 20 stores in the year leading up to February, which is up from over 16 stores in the same period from 2019 to 2020.
Some of these prices are so extreme. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Kenny, what else you have?
TJ J-Bo, are you guys people who frequently lose things like your keys or your cell phone or your water bottle?
No, just my mind.
I have tried to counteract this problem that I do have because I've been known to be looking for my phone while it's in my hand. I think you've mentioned that has happened to you. And I have one spot in my home where I put my keys, my wallet, and my phone.
Yeah, same.
And I won't put them down anywhere but there because if I do, I'll almost certainly lose it.
Right.
Sure. Yeah, I have problems with this as well. But according to experts, a degree of forgetfulness is perfectly normal and even necessary for our brains to function properly. One of the experts gave the example, admitting that she always loses her phone or water bottle or keys. And she says that our memory systems aren't necessarily designed to remember where we put our phones, our keys, or water bottles. However, if we were in a survival scenario where dehydration was a concern, we would likely be much more aware of water sources nearby.
Okay.
Yeah, all of a sudden, we better start caring and paying attention.
Yeah.
No TikTok in that time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Rather than our minds working like a recording device, our memory is more like a, quote, brain Wikipedia page where details can be edited and updated over time. And this allows our brains to store more general information and adapt to new situations. So forgetting is a natural part of the memory process, and it serves an important purpose.
The brain is a beautiful thing.
Well, I carry a little notebook with me all the time because if I don't capture a thought, I almost always forget it. It's not this great
That's so
hard
frustrating,
drive.
isn't it?
Yeah. You know, you have these great ideas in the shower. I mean, you've seen my shower.
I have seen your
for
shower.
honest reasons,
Yes.
because you've been over my house.
Right.
And there is a pad on the wall. Aquanotes.
Yeah.
Right.
And you can write something in the shower so you don't forget it, because we always get great thoughts
Oh,
in
yeah.
the shower,
Always.
right? All
that
of
on
us
the
do.
toilet.
Yeah. Haven't cracked that code
But I usually
yet.
have my phone with me when I'm on the toilet, so that works out.
Although there is a big roll of paper you could write on. if you really
That's
need
true. It's wasteful, though. You might need to use it.
Yeah. Kenny, thank you for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.
There's been a buzz around the hallways here ever since this Netflix roast was announced. I think it was last week, right? They said that Tom Brady's going to get roasted.
I love a good roast.
And it's going to be here before we know it. It's on Sunday, May 5th.
With potatoes and carrots.
This Sunday?
Yeah.
Did you just say potatoes and carrots? Because I'm starving.
I love a good roast with potatoes and carrots.
Don't
yeah.
tease me. This is interesting. I mean, Netflix is turning into television again. Everyone's like, wow, what a new, interesting idea. They're going to show this thing live in the moment. It's like, yeah, it's TV.
Right,
They
exactly.
realized like TV just worked the way it was and all the subscription stuff. There's more to it, but fine, whatever. However we get Tom Brady on there with the incredible star power that we're seeing. And I would say this headline really caught our attention yesterday. Is it true that Bill Belichick is going to be a part of the roast?
That's what I'm seeing.
I mean, come on.
Billy!
I keep wanting Netflix to drop the ball. They keep upping the subscription fee, and you go, can they at least mess up once? And then they get something like this, and, camera guy Josh must be sweating over there. His dog's name is Brady, after Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's unroastable, just like the trailer said.
unroastable.
Unroastable, let's go.
How do you
He's got
feel
it.
about this? Are you going to tune in?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I am clearing my calendar. Absolutely.
That's a huge surprise.
I cannot wait. I'm actually supposed to be on a flight at that time, but I'm going to buy the in-flight Wi-Fi so that I can watch this. I'm so excited.
Oh, big spender.
Good for you,
Yeah,
Josh.
I'm
See,
so pumped.
This is quality entertainment. It's hard to say no. My brother just canceled his Netflix subscription, which somehow affected ours. I don't know how that all worked. But,
okay.
He went through the finances and said, I don't watch this much more. I wonder if he's going to get it back, and maybe I'll get it back when he gets it back. Because I
And
don't
then you
think
can watch it.
I don't know that I'm going to pay for it, but I am very excited about this. This is a pretty cool event.
Yeah, Belichick is the latest to join this list. A lot of NFL players or former NFL players, including Tom Brady's teammates Julian Edelman, Rob Gronkowski.
Ah, nice.
Oh, yeah,
Gronk's going to be
Gronk.
there. It's gonna
Randy
It's gonna be
Moss
great.
is going to be there, as well as Drew Bledsoe, who was the quarterback that got hurt, which made the way for Tom Brady's stardom
Oh, yeah.
at the New England Patriots. And then I think the list of comedians is still up in the air. Kevin Hart is hosting. We know that. We know Jeff Ross, a.k.a. the Roastmaster General, will be there as well. And then I heard Nikki Glazer, the stand-up comedian who's very funny. And as far as I can't see any other names on the list. So I imagine we'll still have more names announced as we get closer to Sunday. But Bill Belichick on the dais, that's big news.
They're probably doing like funny boot camp. All right, who's the funniest? Let's go. Maybe Bill is the one who's finding the comics.
Well, I hope he actually says something, because Bill tends to be very quiet most of the time.
Maybe this is going to be the thing that's going to light him up.
Yeah, I've heard in private conversations that Bill Belichick is very funny and quite humorous, and he's not as soft-spoken as he's made to seem when you see him in a post-game press conference.
Well, here we go. Netflix hits it out of the park or scores a touchdown, right? Once again.
Yeah, look at you with
Yep.
sports.
This Sunday, 8 East, 5 Pacific.
Yeah, I guess we'll all be watching.